Let's call the meeting to order. This is a regular meeting of the Board of Directors of the 29 Palms Water District, July 15th, 2026 at 4 p.m. This meeting may be viewed on the district's website at www.29palmswater.net. The board reserves the right to discuss only or take action on any item on the agenda. Roll call, call to order, roll call vote, please.
Director Arthur?
Here.
Director Bowden? Here. Director Coghill?
Here.
Director Leeser?
Here.
Director Woods? Here.
The next item is going to be Pledge of Allegiance. Christine, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Blue oyster bar.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Christine. All right. Additions and deletions to the agenda. Do we have any?
There is an addition. After item 3 will be 3A. It'll be amending resolution 2608. So that will be added to the agenda.
Okay. Public comment. Please complete a request to be heard form prior to the start of the meeting. The public may address the board for 3 minutes on district-related matters. Government code prohibits the board from taking action on matters that are not on the agenda. However, the board may refer matters to for future consideration. Are there any public comments?
There are none.
No public comments. Okay. Agenda item 1, a public hearing on implementing California Assembly Bill 1572, prohibiting the use of potable water for the irrigation of non-functional turf. And we're going to need to have public testimony, so we're going to need a motion and a second to open the public hearing.
I move we open the public hearing.
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
The public hearing is now open. Anybody that wishes to speak on Assembly Bill 1572? Okay, so I guess we don't have someone that wants to speak on that.
I move to close the public hearing.
I second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 2. Let me turn the page here. Find it. Consider ordinance 105 implementing California Assembly Bill 1572 prohibiting the use of potable water for the irrigation of non-functional turf. So it's open for discussion. General Manager?
Good afternoon, Board President and members of the board. Before you today is ordinance 105, again implementing California Assembly Bill 1572, prohibiting potable water use for irrigation of non-functional turf. This ordinance represents a statewide conservation initiative requiring public agencies to eliminate the use of potable water for turf. Functional turf is considered ground covering surface of turf located in recreational areas or communal space, whereas non-functional turf is any turf non-functioning or ornamental. The adoption of this ordinance will assure that the district complies with state laws, provides clear expectations to the customer, and advances the district's commitment in the efficient water use along with water supply reliability. In the ordinance up for adoption before you today is the responsible parties, the rules and regulations, the deadline periods for the new ordinance, the exceptions and exclusions for potable water use, enforcement of such ordinance, and the appeal process if violations do occur. Today before you is obviously an open discussion on ordinance 105, but staff will be making the recommendation to approve ordinance 105, implementing AB 1572, prohibiting potable water use for irrigation of non-functional turf. I'd like to open it up for discussion.
Comments, criticisms, suggestions?
How laid out is the who the violators, or the way that you find violators, or who's in charge of finding the violators? And,
Well, we will have the rights in our code to violate people through the ordinance. Now, we've always taken the approach, education before violation, so we will go and do our education. Again, there's deadlines about being a disadvantaged community, and like our agency, although we should comply right away, if we had turf that we needed about a 5-year period, this wouldn't go into effect till 2030. So really the heavy hitters are the commercial areas that we feel are non-functioning. We could probably name 2 or 3 of them locally here in town. We will reach out and let them know that Ordinance 105 has passed.
is that something we could say without causing a big problem right now? Because I'd like to know what I'm looking at.
I'll give you an example. The Pizza Hut grass is non-functioning turf. That is turf that is there for ornamental use.
Is it still there?
Yep.
It
Still
died
there.
once.
It died off, it's kind of come back, but again, now let's just take it that turf was
Needs
there
cut.
and we had a reuse, so we were recycling water through a sewer system. You could use that for recycled water. This district does not have a recycled project going on where we could use recycled water. So potable water, they are going to have to be reached out and say, you are one of the areas that we'll be looking at to either convert to native plants or drought tolerant conditions.
When MBTA put that, or MBTA put that bus stop in front of Pizza Hut, they had to do a little yard work there and re-put some irrigation lines back in for that piece of grass. So, too bad they didn't know about this before they did that.
I like the idea and stuff. I just wonder if, I don't want to be the big,
State Nazi?
go crazy,
No, it's not going to affect
If
ours.
it's going to be laid out, you read it here, but
The other thing about us violating people and making fines, we can also still refer the state to them. So technically, if the district, did some warnings and did some things, we don't have to step in, but in our code, it does also give us the right to step in and violate people.
so I feel like, what did you say? We're not going to go after them, we're going to educate them.
Education before violation.
Right, of course I like that. And I think most people would be acceptable to hear what you have to say because it also saved them money.
A lot of money. Watering turf is really expensive. It would be interesting to see what our parks use as far as gallons, because we know what we pull out of the ground every year. If it is recorded the same way for the city on private wells, I don't believe that it is. But the turf alone here, if this district pulls out 2,300 acre feet a year, which is 800 million gallons of water, and you have a city that has parks that could be doing half of that, that's another 400 million gallons that isn't recorded through our district numbers. So anytime that you're irrigating turf, it is a lot of water down on the ground to make sure the turf grows out here. So again, education through violation, before violation. We've been out to Pizza Hut and Motel 6 on water leaving their property and going down the curb line. And again, just trying to educate the public about water going
So
down the curb line.
since you mentioned parks, they're on wells, right?
They're on their own private wells, so again, not domestic water. They can make the argument that, and remember, that's a recreational area, so that's not what we're looking at. We wouldn't be looking to shut the parks down. But the parks also can say that they're not getting it from a domestic potable water agency like the district, so technically their water would be considered non-potable water. So.
Because
kind
I
of two
do know
different-
that when they took the grass out that was just in front of City Hall, it stunned me that it saved over 1.5 million gallons a year.
Mhm.
I mean, I was totally unbelievable. I had to have it proved to me, and it was proved to me. And it wasn't that big a grass area.
I think you and I actually had the discussion on that grass
we
area and
did.
how much water was being used, yeah.
I made you prove it too.
Yeah.
Like our general manager said, Lucky Park, not Scott Park,
Yeah, I got
Pioneer
you.
Park, unaffected, totally unaffected. It's like Pizza Hut and like Motel 6 and such as that.
I think City Hall did a good thing going
I
that way
agree.
a long time ago.
I agree.
But even the park next door at the library, that's communal, that's recreational, that's off limits. So we wouldn't put out a letter to to the county on the library system. But the other places where we're going to have to, the district's going to have to step in and at least put an initial letter out explaining ordinance 105.
So, any other discussion?
I got a couple questions. I understand we can enforce, we choose to educate. Can places like city code enforcement also enforce that?
One of the conversations we've had with the city, especially with them having their own wells, is that we should always adhere to the laws, right? So when we ask about domestic water, they're going to always refer to us. If there's an issue coming off a domestic meter, we should take care of it, or we should be the ones reaching out. The city can always reach out and say, hey, there are all these rules in place. But people would always ask us, when the city's parks are going down the street, what are you guys doing? Well, we reach out to the city manager and we say, hey, you still adhere to the same rules that we do, domestic water or even the non-pot water that you're using. So code enforcement wouldn't really jump in on water regulation rules, but they definitely could be there as a supporter of, hey, that you're violating and we're going to turn this over to the water district. And then we would refer them to let us kind of deal with water issues coming off of a domestic service.
And then I guess my other question would be, are there other non-potable options? Like, can they, if they choose to put in their own well, and I would guess that would be most likely a non-potable option, correct?
More than likely, if somebody puts in a residential well, being an unadjudicated basin, which you can do in 29 Palms, if you don't go deep enough, you're probably not in very good water quality. So that would be considered non-pot. Bringing it to the surface and you then having the argument with the state, like the conversation with us would be, how are we going to tell somebody how to use their private well or not? But we can go to them and say, hey, it's running off the property. Be considered non-pot well. Again, not at a residential house. Residential are excluded from this rule. We're looking at commercial. We're looking at, this is really meant for that community that has grass in their medians for traffic. And that's why there's kind of a statement in there that the state always picks that one size fits all, and that doesn't really apply to us here. Yes, there's going to be a handful of people that we reach out to, but this isn't that one size fits all and that we're going to cut 100 million gallons because we asked everybody to quit watering their lawns or commercial buildings.
I'll just give you a little bit of idea where my thoughts are going. We have a well with chromium 6. We essentially had to shut it down. That's non-potable. But with this, is there a market for non-potable well in this area? Potentially. So
I would say that we also have a non-pot well off a baseline.
Yep.
And that non-pot well doesn't really get used for irrigation purposes, or have we been reached out for irrigation purposes there? So I would say no at this point, and mostly because if you're doing landscaping of the desert area, you're trying to use drought-tolerant plants anyway. So you're not really trying to put 1 million gallons down for turf. You're trying to do, a drought irrigation or something like that.
okay.
So, using Pizza Hut as an example, the west side of that parking lot needs cut right now. It's pretty tall. But that being said, if they wanted to maintain that and keep that, would they, if they wanted to put their own local cistern in or whatever and fill it with non-pot water, would they be able to pick it up from our well up on baseline?
No. The well on baseline does not connect to the domestic water. The well on baseline, you can come to the district, you can rent a space and water truck it to a certain area.
Yeah.
Technically, you could bring it to the area that way. But the domestic water tie-in with that well, no.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm understanding. But if they wanted to drive a truck up there and then fill their own little local cistern up in the Pizza Hut parking lot, they could do that. There'd be a way that they could do that. And they'd be using potable water.
And they would have to explain either to us or the
Yeah,
state
okay.
how they're getting away with that provision.
All right.
It's really not going to be a very big deal for 29 Palms County.
No.
We're trying to comply with AB.
We're spending more time on it right now than we probably will with this law.
Very true.
Yep.
And again, just kind of throwing it out there that the one size doesn't fit all for every community, and that's the other point that we, when we go up to the state capitol, we speak on a lot, is that not one size is going to fit all here as well.
But
I think some people would see a benefit in it.
In Randy's scenario, the juice wouldn't fit the squeeze.
the golf course then would be
depends on how
considered
bad you want
functional though,
gas.
correct?
golf course.
Functional because it's recreational, but functional and maybe non-pot because, again, they don't have domestic water from us.
Sure.
They're on their own.
They have their own wells.
And they've cut back their turf significantly. They've gone to a desert course.
Yep.
Doesn't look all bad, but some places it's just because it's the desert. Some places is nice.
Looks better than the base one, though.
Any other comments or?
Yeah, I just hate supporting ridiculousness from the state under one size fits all. I mean, we have no imported water supplies here in our district. And I understand the state's concern because they're a major importer, but
But remember, that's
it is
also-
what it is.
That's also our argument when conservation talks are going on. The
Yeah.
one size fits all doesn't fit for this community because of swamp coolers and the way we cool our houses here, so. The one size fits all you'll hear probably in any conversation that we have as far as reaches from California on certain water regulations.
Yeah.
Okay, any others? So we're gonna need a motion and a second to approve this, if you want to approve this or not.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Roll call vote, please, Cindy?
Director Arthur?
Aye.
Director Bowden?
Aye.
Director Leeser?
Grudgingly, aye.
Director Woods?
Aye.
Director Coghill?
Yes. Agenda item number 3. Consider adoption of Resolution 2611 to amend Conflict of Interest Code. Open for discussion, Bill Leonard.
So today before you is Resolution 2611, adopting the Conflict of Interest Code from the 29 Palms Water District pursuant to the Political Reform Act. This resolution is a housekeeping item, so every so many years the district will update the Conflict of Interest Code. This code contains rules for disclosing of personal assets and prohibiting from making or participating in making government decisions that may affect personal accounts or personal assets. The change in the code before you today eliminates the operations superintendent position and the verbiage about officials filing through the FPPC electronically instead of through the district secretary like we used to before. So it's open for discussion. There is a redlined version of the resolution from past years, and then the resolution in the back. So staff is making the recommendation to approve Resolution 2611, updating and amending the Conflict of Interest Code. Open for discussion.
We're still gonna have to watch the movies.
We're still going to have to do everything that we have to
Really
do.
drawn those things out. Holy mackerel.
Okay. Any comments for me to discussion? Like our general manager said, it's probably just more of a housekeeping issue than anything else.
Not for me.
None from me.
Director Woods?
No, I see it, the simplicity of this is just instead of the hard copy forms, everything's electronically or digitally filed now.
So with that, we need a motion and a second?
I move to adopt Resolution 2611.
Seconded.
Roll call vote, please, Cindy.
Director Bowden?
Aye.
Sorry, Director Arthur as well?
Aye.
Director Leeser?
Aye.
Director Woods?
Aye.
Director Coghill?
Yes. Okay, now we'll move to agenda item 3A. I did backwards here?
No,
No,
correct. 3A.
Yes, 3A, which is the addition to the agenda. Amending Resolution 2608, continuing the current existing level of water availability assessment for 26-27. It's going to be open for discussion, but the resolution was adopted on June 24, 2026. The San Diego County has requested the inclusion of some verbiage as a housekeeping item. There are no changes to the assessment.
So before you again is the continuation of the current levels of water availability assessment. We have never had a rejection from the county, and we got a rejection notice that we had to redo this resolution with some verbiage. So they added verbiage. There is a 30-cent fee that they charge along with us getting 100% of our assessment.
Of course.
So talking with the attorneys, along with a couple of the verbiage changes, they also added our NBS water availability charge report that we have every year with the changes. So speaking with the attorneys, if this was a housekeeping, bring back to you guys to add the verbiage. And still for fiscal year 26-27, the district in the current water availability assessment has budgeted approximately $590,000 in revenue. So staff is making the recommendation to amend the resolution as written before you today.
Open for discussion. And I'll start with Dr. Leeser this time.
Nothing. I got nothing.
You say this is 30 cents?
So every transaction that they do, if you guys ever see on the back of your bills, the smallest transaction is $30, so it's $30.30. They just wanted the verbiage in there that they've never asked for in years before. The attorney said just clean it up and get it back to the, because we already start the water availability. As soon as the fiscal year starts, we already start sending out those notices. We have to get this cleaned up before we can start that process.
This is nothing new. We've been,
Right,
everybody in the district who gets a tax bill sees it on their tax rolls. It's a 25, 30-cent charge behind it. So this is, now it's verbiage that we need to put in it. It's never been there. Does that answer your question, Mark?
Yep.
Dr. Wood?
That seems pretty straightforward.
Okay. Dr. Leeser?
None.
Roll call vote, Cindy?
Motion.
Motion? I'm sorry. Need a motion and a second. See, you get ahead of myself.
I'll make a motion.
Approve. Do we have a second?
A second.
Okay. Now we need a roll call.
Director Arthur,
Aye.
Director Bowden,
Aye.
Director Leeser,
Aye.
Director Woods,
Aye.
Director Cox.
Yes. Okay. Agenda item number 4, approving amendment to the general manager's employment agreement. Open for discussion.
Today before you guys is the board of directors, the amendment for the general manager's employment agreement between the district and Matt Tragg. The changes in the agreement added 1 year to the end of the agreement, ending June 30th, 2030. It gave the employment a 3% merit increase retroactive back to April 5th, and it increased the employee's district contribution on his 457 plan to 6.5%. Open for discussion, but staff is making the recommendation to approve the amendment to the general manager's employment agreement.
Open for discussion.
President Coghill, this is exactly what we had agreed on during last session, so I don't see any changes from what we had agreed on in closed session.
So,
Was there any other staff that recommended it other than, she says staff recommended it, so.
Staff always has to
I'm
make
just
a
being myself, and I think you deserve what we did, and
I agree. So you're making that a motion because we need a motion. and a
I'd
second.
like to make that motion that we,
I'll second.
Roll call vote, Cindy?
Director Arthur,
Aye.
Director Bowden,
aye.
Director Leeser,
Aye.
Director Woods,
Yes.
and Director Coghill.
Yes. Which brings us to item 5, GeoViewer staff presentation. Gentlemen,
Good afternoon. We're going to take a little bit of a time to turn off our monitors, get them back on. Jana Olson is here with the district. She's our customer service 2 rep. We're here with the district, and she's going to make a presentation. So before you, I'm going to switch chairs. I'm going to
He's
make
good.
sure
He
that
had
everybody
this
is
display.
on before we start the presentation. So
If you had that display, you were good.
Everyone can come back.
so far,
Yeah, Mike was fine till he pushed the button. He
your
was,
screen back on?
After you push the
Got
button,
a
you did not, I believe you.
crappy little green light.
We have to push them one at a time.
I see the green light.
Simultaneously. There you go. Awesome.
Okay, good.
Everybody's on?
Time for a tech refresh.
We got a new coffee pot, then we do need to.
All right. Good afternoon. My name is Jana. I've been with the district for 3 years. I assist in the engineering department and have been working on GeoViewer for about 2.5 years. Today I'd like to give you an overview of our GeoViewer system and show you how it has become an important part of our day-to-day operations through the district. I'll walk you through several examples of how we use the system and demonstrate the efficiencies we've gained by moving many of our processes from paper-based workflows to a digital platform. The district began working with Noble in February of 2023 to implement the GeoViewer system as part of an effort to improve efficiencies in technology and modernize the way we manage district operations. At the time, the goal was to move away from paper-based processes, improve access to information in the field, and create a more centralized system for managing assets, inspections, and service-related work. Since then, GeoViewer has grown from a mapping application into a comprehensive operational platform that now supports work orders, fleet management, customer service functions, and many other day-to-day activities. Let's open our app. Okay, beautiful. We're signed in. All right, so this is our GeoViewer mobile platform. The main map displays our district boundaries, and by switching to our satellite view, you can see the surrounding areas and all of our mapped assets. We are going to start with dig alerts. Did your guys' screen go out? Okay, no, mine's good. Bear with me while I click around the app. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Dig Alert is a free service that notifies utility companies before excavation takes place so underground utilities can be properly marked. It is required for anyone excavating with power equipment in Southern California and helps prevent utility damage and service interruptions. Before GeoViewer, Dig Alert tickets came into the office by email. Office staff would print each ticket, generate a work order, and field crew would stop by the office to pick up the paperwork before going out to locate utilities. Once work was completed, the paperwork was then returned to the office so staff could respond to the Dig Alert on the website. Today, the entire process happens within the GeoViewer. Tickets are sent directly to the crew's iPads where they can view the ticket details, see the map location, document their work with comments and photos, and respond to the ticket without assistance from office staff. Let's go to our marked tickets. I'm going to pull up a good one for you guys. 707. Okay. So this is how it comes in to our gentlemen. So they'll see this ticket. We can click in, and this green box is put in by the company requesting the ticket. They're saying that this is where they're going to be digging. If we scroll down, we can see when they put it in, their work start date, their location notes, who in what they're doing, and then at the very bottom you can see our notes. Located area marked in the road with paint, and marked with whiskers, and it even tells us who did it and what time they wrote it. And if I go up, we can also see pictures of their marks and their shadow. And we have quite a few pictures in this area. It looks like they had a big dig area here.
So one thing I would like to add, I think the importance of GeoViewer and what we've done with GIS is before a USA ticket would come in, this was being touched 5 different times, shut, open work orders, and everybody's writing hand notes. It's now in the process of where when the Dig Alert ticket gets done out in the field, it gets sent to Dig Alert. It's not like staff in the office is doing all this extra work. So the whole efficiencies through technology is really what the district was concentrating on when GeoViewer and GIS were being first thought about. And what we're doing with the GIS program, I'll let Jana continue, but us old school guys like Mike Minitry and myself, we wanted to do it the old way. This younger staff is way more savvy with the computer and taking pictures and having real data there. So this has been a big bonus for us. I just wanted to add.
All right, let's go back to our map. All right, and then as you see in our map, I'm pretty zoomed out right now to see the whole district, but if you notice all of the purple, those are all of our collected assets. So those are all of the things within our district that we have gone out in person and gotten GPS data for. It's a lot, obviously, at this zoomed out state. So our previous mapping system was built using CAD. It showed district assets in their general locations, but was not a precise representation of their location. Those maps served as the foundation for building GeoViewer. One of our first priorities after implementing the platform was collecting accurate GPS locations for our district assets, including valves, dead ends, meters, sampling points, and other infrastructure. Having precise GPS locations makes these assets much easier to locate, especially in our rural service areas where landmarks are limited. And then we're gonna go look at one of our assets. I'm gonna pull up dead end 258. So this little dot right here is dead end 258. A dead end is the point where a water main comes to an end and requires routine flushing to maintain our water quality. And as you see, if I scroll through our dead end, it will give us our number, our line size, what kind of valve it is, when it was installed, where it's located on the map, and these correlate with county maps as well, as where our cross sections are, and as well as our location notes that were made. Most of these location notes are years old, so the GPS locations helps a lot on top of these footage. And it also tell you what month it needs to be flushed. And then if we go out and zoom in, this little pink dot is our collected dead end. So that dot is where our gentleman went out and got the actual GPS location. So that is where that actual dead end is that little pink dot. And they also took a picture of it so we can see where it is in, like, next to the other things in that location. So when our gentlemen go out, it's a lot easier for them to find. And you can see that they are flushing it in that picture. And even who took it and when.
What's our GPS resolution?
With the Trimble, the Trimble's this like stick and a thing.
Yeah, is it
Hard to
10
explain.
feet, 3 feet?
No, I
So-
think we're down to about 3 feet with that.
So 1 meter? Okay.
Yeah.
Means I should be able to stand there and see it
Yes.
if I go to the
Yeah.
thumbtack.
If you go to
pick.
there, you will be able to find
Yeah.
it. Having this level of detail allows our field crews to quickly locate assets during routine maintenance or emergency repairs, saving valuable time in the field. And now I'm also going to look up a meter. 1, 3, 4, because all of our meters are also shot in with GPS. So again, our little red dot is our meter. This gives us our meter information, meter number, the APN that it's attached to, its service address, what size it is, and that it is owned by us. If I go back out to the map and zoom in, the little blue box is our GPS location for that collected meter. So again, it tells us when it was collected, and we can see a picture of it. So there is that meter on that property, and you can see where it is next to everything else, so it's easy to find. Say if an area gets flooded, which we had a couple of years ago, where our gentleman then had to go out and find all of our meter boxes and give them new homes, give them new lids mostly for that flood. And then let me
See
go,
if we put a tag on the lid, we can go find them later downriver.
right?
A lot of money to put a tag in.
Oh, I know.
And then I'm gonna go back into our meter, and then if you just look at our history here, we can also see the history of work orders on this meter. So this information was previously unavailable to our field crew while they were in the field. They would have to call us to get this information. Now, if we send somebody out to the property, they can click on the history and see when we were there last and see what the last person there did. A picture of the meter at that time, as well as their notes on what they did there.
It's not a happy looking meter.
The meter is not connected to anything, so when we go out for those, we have to flush the meter to make sure that everything works, and so sometimes water ends up back in the box. All right, let's go back out to here. Any questions on GPS? Okay.
Matt, are we gonna, where we have pressure regulators that the district put in, are those gonna be GPSed in the system too, or They're just,
No, the meter
Hopefully
box
with-
location, if you know, like at the meter box, usually your regulator is approximately a foot behind the
Yeah.
meter. So once you shoot in the box,
Okay.
that setup per lot is.
so
there.
when we did them, we standardized how close to the box.
Yeah.
That explains why I found mine within a foot of the box.
Yeah, so when we were repiping neighborhoods, yeah, the setups were already made and went through as we were putting in new
Awesome.
infrastructure.
All right, and next up is shorts. The shorts module contains our day-to-day customer service work orders, including turn-ons, turn-offs, pressure checks, leak calls, clean and show requests, and other customer service activities. Originally, these service orders went to a separate program. Only one field technician could access the system using a laptop, and work orders had to be manually assigned each morning and throughout the day as new requests came in. The system had no mapping capability, and if connectivity was lost, which unfortunately happened kind of often, everything had to be completed on paper. The assigned field technician would have to come in and out of the office to pick up and then return paperwork. Today, all short work orders are automatically routed to GeoViewer and immediately available to every crew member with their iPad. This allows crews to begin their day without waiting for assignments from the office and makes it easy to reassign work throughout the day if priorities change. Because every work order is also mapped, crews can plan the most efficient route or use GeoViewer to navigate directly to each location. So let's see, this is what has been done today. So we can pick a couple.
So you're going to work orders today?
Yeah, these are the completed shorts today. And I click a couple and pick route,
Then turn left.
and it'll tell them where to go. And then you can zoom out and it'll tell you their first one's here, second one's over here,
That's over my neighborhood.
third one's here, and then at the
Joe
end is their
Davis
fourth.
Park.
I think what's important about this feature, just to bring up, is with the younger staff that we have, and maybe not the 30-year employees out in the field that know where every meter is, the guys are really good with Google Maps and their map systems, where now they can route in the morning their whole day and really can go through the route. Now, whether they'll pick and choose where they're going to go off the route is up to them, but I think this is a good feature that would probably just scare Mike and I. Where the young guys can figure out, even if they're not from 29 and they come into the system, they can go do work orders in about a week just by following the maps. So it's a pretty important tool that we have with the system.
So they have different options or settings to set their route based on time or direction or,
Well, it also depends on what their
How much-
day is.
yeah, how much
So if
latitude?
stuff pops up in between,
yeah,
that's
Okay.
maybe closer or further away from where they are.
Okay. yeah.
'Cause
Avoid all
this
tow
list will
roads.
change throughout the day as we get
Yeah.
calls in to turn on or off service.
It's kind of like a mail carrier, it's a profession, not a reverse course. It's
Exactly.
Cool.
Photos can also be attached when a work order is completed to document information such as meter numbers, meter reads, or leak locations. So let's open up one of these guys and we'll see what happened there.
So this will be the work order from today that somebody completed.
Yep, so Billy completed this work order today. He went out for a read only. So he went out, got a read, checked that the dial and reader were good. And we also got a picture of our meter. Or not? You wanna? Okay, cool, I don't wanna see the picture anyway. Let's try from here.
There it is.
Oh, okay. Well, there is a picture of our meter. Office staff can easily monitor completed and outstanding work orders, review them for accuracy, identify any needed follow-up, and close them out much more efficiently. All right, and then next up is blues. Let me get out of here.
Yeah. Eventually it'll be GeoViewer. Give me all the ones with the most shade to work in.
All right, so Blues is the name that we use for our monthly billing service orders. We're actually working on this month's service orders this week. On average, the district generates approximately 375 billing-related service orders every month. These include meter reads, rereads, and requests to verify that meters are operating properly. Before GeoViewer, every service order was hand-printed or was printed, sorted by route, and distributed to the field crew. Staff wrote notes on each paper service order before returning them to the office. Paperwork could be misplaced or accidentally duplicated, and if one employee needed assistance, paperwork had to be physically transferred between employees. Once everything was completed, office staff manually entered notes into every service order before closing them out, a process that typically took about a week. Today, once service orders are generated, we simply filter them by route and assign them to the field staff. And looking at these numbers, it looks like our guys have already finished our blues for the week, which is another thing. We only started these on Monday, so they did over 200 work orders in less than 3 days.
So a lot of districts that I've heard, they average bills, or like, hey, we don't get a read on something, hey, average the bill and we'll deal with it later. This district doesn't really believe in that. If we're not getting a read on billing information, which is called blues, staff is directed in a work order to get out there and physically see that meter and see what's going on. So we're at least putting our eyes. Okay, NAA is the meter infrastructure program that we have in place to collect all the reads. But when, let's say, 8,300 meters you collect at one time, but 300 of them don't get a read, we are physically out there every month with the ones that aren't reading and trying to figure out why they're not reading, because we want everybody to try to get 24 reads a day from our meter infrastructure program. And that's a fairly new program as well.
So I'm going to show you, let's pull up who did blues today. Let's see. Billy. B. Weckerman. If I could. So it looks like B. Weckerman did 97 work orders. Busy guy.
Today?
Over the last 3 days.
This week?
Just this week, he's done 97 work orders. And how we can even filter them, I'll show you that as well. I can click here. I can choose my route. Let's choose route, let's do 801s. I'll get rid of my dates. And apply filter, and it will show me all of the work orders for Route 54. And then I can easily go in, hit assign, and choose our gentleman. And I can do the same thing to change it, and so can our field guys. They can change them. Say one of them gets pulled for something else and they're gonna transfer them to Dylan, they can go in and bump all their work orders over to Dylan. No issue.
Does the system track when you've taken work tickets from somebody and transferred them to somebody else?
On the backside it does.
Okay.
Mostly it will track who it's being completed by. So when the notes go in,
Yeah.
it instantly timestamps that with who entered those notes.
Okay.
And then also when we close it. So when those come into the office and after when we verify the information and we close it for good, it also notes who closed it. Let me see. Yeah, so their assigned work orders immediately appear on their iPads under their My Service Orders, allowing crews to begin work as soon as they start their day. If priorities change or they need to reassign, it can easily be done by staff or by the field workers. GeoViewer also allows us to accurately track completed work, eliminates lost or duplicated paperwork, and provides better visibility into the status of each work service order. Once field work is complete, billing can immediately access the information they need, and staff can close out the service orders in about 1 day instead of nearly a week's time.
So again, the work orders at the end of the day, the guys will complete, but staff in the office still closes out work orders for billing purposes. So there's an oversight of every work order that comes in and is completed by field staff through customer service staff to make sure that the completion of those is done, or we don't need to go back out for something else.
How long have we been working with this?
3 years. And let me tell you, and I think it might be in Jana's presentation, but this GIS consultant that we're using is really impressed with us. We make them work every month. Jana turns in a list of things daily that says, hey, we're off on certain things or we're checking certain things. And I think people have signed on before with this company and then kind of stopped. We almost every day have the mindset, how do we make it better today? And we ask them for new ideas in the programs that we're already doing, that they're like, wow, we didn't think of that. And they're trying new things with us only. The customer portal, we're allowing them to be, we're going to be their guinea pig. We got a reduced price for a customer
I was
portal.
going to say, and this is something we approved just since I've been around.
And I think that's why it was very important that you guys heard about this. You guys just approved the Master Service agreement with Noble at close to $90,000 a year, and I wanted to show you guys what we're using the money and spending the money on. So this presentation was really important. Yes, it's something that this board has approved. A really big asset that I think has come to this district is GIS.
Yeah. Every time we give them a new widget to add, they should give us a kickback on a discount for next year.
I think they did.
Or we should get a percentage off the profits.
We'll work on that with them, but
We're working in concert with them. It's good.
These are just a few examples of how GeoViewer has improved efficiencies through technology across the district. In addition to what I've shown you today, we also use GeoViewer to manage our valve turning program, our dead end flushing program, hydrant inspections, vehicle inspections, fleet maintenance work orders, district services work orders, overtime tracking, cross-connection inspections, daily inspections for our redundant reservoir project, and the state leak registry. We're also continuing to expand the platform by digitizing our water quality processes and working with Noble to develop a customer portal that will allow our customers to monitor their water consumption and receive notifications of potential leaks. What began as a mapping application has evolved into a comprehensive operational platform that supports nearly every aspect of our field operations. As we continue expanding its capabilities, we expect GeoViewer to further improve efficiency, increase data accuracy, and help us provide even better service to our customers. Any questions?
Director Bell.
I'd like to say, what do you think, Mike? I know you were probably against it because that's how we are.
It's technology.
It's actually very user-friendly. I'm not an IT guy or a
I know.
guy, and I can navigate really, really good there.
That says a load right there.
So there is a version that you're seeing. There is a desktop version that we get to see. And Mike has really jumped into it where I have really not. I've really tried to stay away and let this field figure it out. And Mike says, Matt, if you get into it, it's not as intimidating as you and I thought this was going to be. Because initially, this kind of scared us. And we're kind of happy that it's here and it's working the way it is. They use it every day. Every day, there's not a guy in their trucks that aren't using GIS, and that's pretty amazing.
It's amazing too, because Janie can show the board, she can click on a broken water line, and it'll actually show you what valves you have to go to shut them off.
Can we pull that
Yep,
up?
cross
Just
connects,
a
you
quick,
betcha.
if you could. I think the board would like that.
And show me the isolation valves, you bet.
Cactus would be one.
Right?
Do-
Gosh.
Do cactus.
Let me see.
Yeah, see, you know where they are later.
Run analysis.
We've been there several times.
So if I click on that line and I run analysis, it will instantly tell me that if I turn off this valve, it will turn off those properties.
Wow.
And then I can also push that out further. Let me see.
If a valve is broken, isn't there a way to say this valve is broken and then it takes you to the next shutdown as
Yeah,
well?
there's another, I have to see how it, because I don't do it from the tablet very often.
do
How did all this
I'm
get
mostly on the desktop.
inputted?
So initially, when Noble got on with us, they took our CAD program and they created a fake GIS, I'll call it, right? That wasn't good enough for us. We decided we were going to shoot in every attribute in the district, every appurtenance, hydrant, valve, meter box location. There's probably, if I had to guess, there's 3,000 valves, there's 8,000 services. We probably have it shot in over 15,000 spots in the district.
I can show
With
you.
addresses, with pictures.
We did the
With
work.
addresses, with
I love
pictures,
it.
going through the process. And even Balaji over at Noble was just like, you guys are going to do what? And I'm like, it's not GIS till we have everything shot in. And so he is really impressed. He does use us in a lot of presentations about what we've done with our system in a short period of time and what we're already using it for. Right now, I think Jane is showing you the different things, the different elements that are inside GeoViewer that we work into every day.
Size of the meter, make, model, you name it. That's it.
Yeah, so the collected points and what the guys have done in the field, but also then for staff internally to understand, it's really.
Is Jana the conduit between most of the people, or?
We tried to make it where we have office staff and field guys so that as they're trying to explain to her certain things that go out in the field, she
Good.
can also explain to them what she deals with on desktop. But I would say as far as our office person, yes, we've had a couple guys juggle the outside stuff just with promotions and maybe moving to a different job. But there also are guys out in the field that are very solid with getting her the information that she says, hey, I've seen something in GeoViewer that isn't correct and I need to send it to Balaji's team tomorrow. Go get me shot in point so that I can explain. And they work very good. I've stayed away from this system, so I'm still a little intimidated when I see it.
Hey, they got it under control. Is there any arguments sometimes? Because that means they're really working at it.
And I would say in the beginning.
More arguments with we're trying to make Balaji's team work hard.
That's what makes it work.
Yeah.
Director Woods?
It's just super impressive. I'm a bit overwhelmed at
It is a lot.
how impressive that is, and the multitude of functions and the different things you can think of to use it for and to do. It's really impressive.
Director Arthur?
No, I've got nothing.
Yeah. I got to tell you, I've worked with software development and outside vendors before and had failures and some good products. The staff's work here between all the shops and everybody, it shows. It shows in how detailed this is, and the fact that we have a software company, a vendor that wants to hear what the actual field users and the users want, and that they're making changes for us. This is a high-end, customer-oriented software company, and it says a lot.
And they're the ones that are creating our customer
Yep,
portal.
and
And
the
they don't
fact,
have a customer portal.
and it doesn't sound like they have any resistance to our input, and they're adopting some of the stuff that you and the staff are putting to them. That speaks volumes about them. Good choice. It's a good product.
This is almost like the treatment center 2.0. Look at how state-of-the-art that was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Look at this now.
Don't worry, Mike's got all the old pictures. Just
Scott brought up a really good point. We were able to get our billing software and Noble to integrate. So there's also integration with billing with this system where we have integration things. And when we have another integration tool that we want, we can just say to them, because we're thinking about trying to integrate our inventory, because that's not integrated with them yet.
Yeah.
But they're already like, oh, they have already got something else, an idea of what they want next. So
Yeah, it might be another feature they can sell, and they'll sell more product because of it. But the fact that they've got some of your older users and people that are resistant to technology bought in going, hey, this works pretty well, that says a lot too about the interface. The interface is a good interface.
yeah.
So I see valves in the ground, pipes in the ground, meters and all that. What about service like fleet vehicles
Oh, okay, yeah.
such as that? Does that integrate into?
So this is a newer module.
Yeah,
very new.
we haven't been using Fleet for very long.
But it is, we did sign in with them in the service agreement that anything we want to go 100% with them that we do on daily sheets, they can convert over for
Yeah,
us, and we already pay for it.
It'll give them a
So our
modular program where you can.
Monthly res inspections, CO2 residuals at wells. I mean, it's going to be kind of the sky's the limit with these guys, and especially we're kind of their main people now. They have bigger districts that pay more, but not as much interaction that they have with our team. You want to show the
Yeah.
vehicle inspection? Sorry.
So with Fleet, the main way that we use it is our workers, they all have their little trucks, their personal trucks. Every week they have to do an inspection, and if ever on an inspection they mark something as not being okay, it automatically generates that work order and sends it to our mechanic. We also have it set for next service due, so we're able to set that next service due is due at a certain mileage. The moment that that mileage is surpassed in their weekly inspection, again, it automatically generates
Flags
that
them.
work order for them. We
like
have
it.
our daily inspections too, which is going to be for our vehicles that they don't drive every day, like our dump trucks and our tractors and things like that. Let me see, and then let's see what we have in work orders. So currently right now we have 18 Fleet work orders open and 82 closed. So we have not been using Fleet for that long. It was a lot of moving pieces and parts because obviously we have lots of trucks, lots of trailers, generators, things that have engines, things that don't have engines. So they all needed different things, and so it was a lot of back and forth to get that
Can you show
where we
a
wanted it.
weekly inspection
Yeah.
on one of the
Let's
vehicles?
do-
so nothing gets forgotten.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it will alert them, it will tell them like, hey, you're overdue. So this is our truck 83. You can see we've done 22 inspections on this truck, or 22, we have 22, so we have 2 work orders for this truck, and we've done 20 inspections, so 1 for every week. And they could put in their key number, service life, the vehicle VIN number. Our next service due on this vehicle is 4,000 miles. Vehicle info, so I believe this is Mike's truck. Is this your truck, Mike, 83?
Was that picture the NAP location?
And he is saying that everything looks okay. Everything's good, everything's satisfactory. We don't need anything done.
Does this system have the ability to track vehicles?
So it can't track a vehicle, but it can locate our workers wherever their iPads are. Let me see if anybody's on our map. Of course, it's the end of the day, so they have all left. But it may show me where they last were. Oh, look, here's me
Okay,
at the district office.
gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay, we're going to get our pattern of life data.
Rite Aid?
So I guess it would be in theory that if they have an iPad,
Is
they're
that
in the
Rite
truck.
Aid?
Exactly. So because most of them, this is with them all the time. Unless they're doing something they don't need this for, then it's in their truck. So wherever they are, their iPad's with them, and we can see where they are. Which we've had to use a couple times, where we've had gentlemen get stuck out in the boonies, and Mike has to go find them, and we're able to tell exactly where they are, even if they don't know the area.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They
that's-
set that up beforehand.
So,
Come and find me today.
have you had any input
Where's
from
Waldo?
staff in the field or staff in the office about what's the next step? What's the next thing? What do we want to see?
Lots. Let me tell you that these field guys are very, very needy. They're always asking for things.
Stop picking on the users. The shop guys have different needs. It's just the way it is.
They're always asking for stuff. They're always coming in like, hey, this kind of looks weird, or this kind of works in a strange way, or this, and I send it up to Noble, and most of the time they can get it figured out for them. We were able to change some of the notification settings that everybody was complaining about. We made in work orders that you could copy and paste the meter number so that they could search for the meter without having to search for the address, because sometimes, especially out in the Desert Heights area, that gets a little weird.
Yeah.
Anything that they bring to us, I send it up the chain, and most of the time they're able to get it done relatively quickly.
Right on.
And usually any change that we make like that, there's not added cost. We're telling them, hey, we want to see something.
That's great.
We're doing this. We have that master service agreement. We've added certain things. They don't say, well, hey, now we're going to send you an extra bill. It's like, we'll work on it. We'll get a hold of Jana, see if you guys are happy. And if you're not, let us know kind of what we need to do to make you happy. It's a very good company to work with.
Good.
I've been impressed.
Let's hope they stay that way.
Is this as sophisticated as how many gallons of fuel each vehicle uses and when it's time to order more fuel?
No, we don't have our fuel system.
That'd be an
hooked to
inventory
it.
system.
GIR is not. That is a different system.
Like
And we
inventory.
do monthly reads there. The guys are probably doing weekly reads just because Mike does order fuel a different way. But that's not to say we can't tie in from GIR to this system and say that would probably cost a little more because now we're doing an integration with another company again. But we've already kind of had the conversation about other things, so.
What about emergency generator locations? How long they've been running, how many hours of runtime?
That is in our,
Work orders for vehicles.
we do that for our generators. The generators are a part of our vehicle list. And then our generators at our pump run locations, so the boosters, those, we are currently working on the pump run being digitized. I can show you, but we're not using it yet. We're just in the testing stage of it, pump run. They're able to put our hours and everything for our generators that are at the locations.
But I think what you're asking, Bob, is there an automatic way that this system sees that? Is that what you're asking,
Yes.
Debbie? There is not right
Yeah.
now. There is not something worked on right now where automatically that's where we're at.
But we have it somewhere else.
We have the
Yeah,
information
track it
that we,
somewhere.
that we track a different
It's
way,
just
just
not
not automatically.
Yeah, so they're
Yes.
being inspected in 2 different ways depending on what kind of generators they are. Yeah.
The capabilities are just mind-boggling.
Are all the GIS coordinates and everything, are they in writing somewhere also?
Yeah, there's all backdoor data that I can get on the iPad. It's a lot more pared down. the desktop version, I have full access to almost all of our data.
Mike's version,
Yeah.
okay.
And if I need a different version of our data, I can always ask for it, and then they'll send me over the raw data in an Excel.
Yeah, it's all there just in case something
Yep.
happens with all the computers and.
We tried to do a very generic presentation. Mike also early on said, why don't we put our old as-built maps for like 1950, blah, blah, blah. And so in some of the pipeline work where we know the old pipelines are, there are as-built maps in the GIS that we were able to copy and paste into the system. So can you find an as-built on
Let me see. Oh, here. So if I zoom into an area, it will give me.
Challenger.
It will give me
Throwing her on
everything
the
that
spot.
we've. It'll give me everything that we've scanned in for that area. So it'll give me all of our valve data sheets, all of our dead end sheets, and even as-built for that area.
That's a good one.
Mhm.
Amazing.
Very
So if
nice.
we ever need to find something that's older than what we have, it's in there.
So speaking of data, how's the data stored? What's its backup plan? What happens if everything crashes?
It's all cloud-based. As far as I know, it's all cloud-based. I know that when we first started with the shooting in of our meters, it was all in their database. And when they moved to cloud-based, it did change a little bit. So we can't update our shot-in meters just because we have so many, because we're at what, like 8,300 connections. But we do have the ability to add more and then take out and add to. But as far as I know, everything's cloud-based.
It's amazing how user-friendly this is. Wow. Any other questions for Jen?
No, nice job. The confidence in your voice as you went along got very, very confident. I know what I'm talking about.
Any other questions? Thank you very much for your presentation. You did very well.
Thank you.
You had no reason to be nervous. I know you were, but that's okay. You did very well. Thank you.
Take that back. Oh, no, you better calm down.
That's amazing.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
Okay, we kill these now? No, this.
Oh, yes, you can put that in, sorry.
All right. Brings us to item 6, consent calendar. Matters of the consent calendar are to be considered routine and will be enacted in a single motion. There'll be no separate discussion of these items unless the board, staff, and the public request specific items to be removed for separate discussion and action before the board votes on the motion to adopt. We include the minutes of the regular meeting held on June 24th, 2026 in our audit list. Discussion, do we have any?
I move to adopt the consent calendar.
Seconded.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So ordered. Item number 7, there are none to be removed. Item 8, management reports. First up is going to be H1 maintenance. Mr. Benedict, you're up.
Good evening, Board of Directors. Operation and maintenance department performed the following tasks during the month of June. Responded at 38 USA tickets, 4 leak audits, painted 34 fire hydrants. We had 40 shutoffs, 509 total completed work orders. The district exercised 252 valves. We replaced 3 custom gate valves, 0 new services installed. We installed 2 entitlements. And there were 1,205 past due bills totaled $6,874 in penalty fees. And I will move to water quality. Water quality report, bacteria samples. A total of 50 routine bacteria samples were collected at test points for the storage and distribution system during this past month. All routine and special samples indicated absent for cholera. The district produced 231 acre feet, which is 22% decrease compared to the same month in 2013. So June 2026, there were 75 million gallons produced. June 2013, there was 97 million gallons produced. That was 288 acre feet in 2013 compared to 2026, 231 acre feet. And if the board has any questions, I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Any questions for our Director of Operations?
None for me?
Nope.
Michael, thank you very much for those two reports. Next up is Finance. Scott, you're up.
Good evening, Board of Directors. Included in your packets tonight, financial reports for the month of May 2026. All things equal, target budget percentage this month is 92%. Second to last report for the fiscal year, everything continues to trend very positively. Our operating revenues right on target at 92%, and non-operating revenues above target budget, driven by those capital impact fees as well as reimbursed expenses for various insurance claims. Operating expense, overall expenses at 88% of target budget, so revenues over targets, expenses under targets, leaves us in a great spot. And capital program trending low just due to delays with redundant reservoir project that we'll start seeing in the coming months. We'll start seeing those invoices come through, and that's considered in our budget for the upcoming fiscal year. Only other thing I'll add is that during the month of June, we did make our second pension OPEB trust contribution. So on our June reports, we'll see 100% contributions for the year for those contributions equal to our cell tower revenues. With that, happy to answer any questions of the board.
Any questions, ladies and gentlemen?
None for me.
Scott, as always, thank you very much for your help. And 8.4, General Manager, you are up, Mike.
I will be quick. I'll take this time to welcome Kingston Gallardo. He is our new service worker one that started this week. He's not here, but I just would want to know. New employee. Fiscal year 26-27 is upon us. A big year in capital improvement projects. So the first Van Dyke payment was made already. So we're starting to see that we'll trend some money out of our class accounts and out of our life account, probably class, and start paying for the project. Let me see. Majority, just as a reminder, in August, we will not be having a board meeting. The majority of the board will be at a conference for special districts, California special districts. The district will have 3 open seats in the upcoming election. Will be coming out soon for pulling papers. So just wanted to mention that. Director Leeser and myself participated in the city's flock camera open discussion put on by Mayor Pro Tem Octavia Scott. I think it's important for us to be at those events and make sure that we're supporting where we need, especially with there being a new city manager and making sure that he's comfortable with everything that we're doing. And I just want to take this time to thank the Board of Directors. It was very nice to get an employment agreement extension, so I want to thank you guys personally and for giving me the opportunity to be a leader of a great district and the staff that I have, because otherwise I don't know. It is stressful, but it makes it easier when you have the district and the staff that you work for. I'm blessed beyond belief, and I just appreciate you guys for giving me the opportunities to continue to lead this district. So with that being said,
Questions for the General Manager?
None.
Thank you for those kind words. We appreciate you very much. Your talents are amazing. Which brings us to the next item, future agenda items and staff tasks, director's comments and reports. Director Godden?
I got nothing.
Director Woods?
I would like to read into record the document in front of us that recognizes
Beat me to
Austin.
You beat me to it.
Because I'm sitting over
Right
here.
ahead.
'Cause I'm sitting over here. Listen, there are certain curses about sitting over here.
Go right ahead.
There's certain blessings about sitting over here.
It looked the same way.
So we did get a commendation from a Rita Doyle, who is a constituent and a member of our community and obviously a provider service. For water, I am writing to share some positive feedback regarding the excellent service I recently received from one of your technicians, Austin. Austin came out to my home on the evening of July 9 to assist me in 112-degree temperatures. I was very impressed with his professionalism, expertise, and the care he took. It is rare to receive such high-quality service, and I wanted to make sure his hard work did not go unnoticed. Please pass along my thanks to Austin and the rest of your team from Rita Doyle, so I would just like to publicly recognize Austin and the great work that he does for this district and what a great representative he is of our organization.
And there's comments like that from the community that just enforce the fact that we do as much as we can do from our staff out in the field to keep our constituents happy. And this is proof beyond doubt. It shows transparency. And to keep up the good work from all of us. So thank you for reading that.
You're welcome.
I had it here to do.
She reads better, Bob.
She does. I'll give her that. Need a motion to adjourn.
Go for it.
I move that we adjourn this meeting.
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good meeting.
So ordered.